What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Derek Chisora, Daniel Dubois, and a man named Oleksandr Usyk. Get this. Derek Chisora says Usyk Dubois sparring sessions give one man a clear edge. British heavyweight veteran Derek Chisora believes that sparring sessions between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois in the past could prove to be a pivotal factor in their up-and-coming fight. Usyk moved up from cruiserweight division in 2019 after becoming the undisputed champion, his clear aim being repeated the feat at the sport's most glamorous weight class. With his natural disadvantages in size, many expected that he may struggle to deal with the power of the heavier, stronger opposition. However, Usyk scored a knockout win over Chaz Witherspoon on his heavyweight debut before outpointing Derek Chisora and twice defeating Anthony Joshua to become the unified champion, okay? But this is what Chisora says. Chisora believes that the 36-year-old has gained a significant advantage by having the Brit in the past camps, okay? And he said he's boxing a Rolls Royce is Daniel Dubois. So he needs to be Rolls Royce himself when he's in there. Everybody always says it's the heavyweight game. One punch can change the game. One punch can change the game if you're not on point. But I know that Usyk will be on point and ready for this fight. Remember, he used to spar Daniel for many rounds, so he knows how he moves and stuff like that. Those are the words of Derek Chisora, and let me counterpunch. I did not know that Usyk sparred many rounds with Daniel Dubois before. And if that's the case, I'm going to start looking for footage to see how that went. See, that's the whole idea of my series called Sparring Wars. Sparring Wars means, to me, sparring, people say it's different. People say it's the same. I say it's a little bit in between. It depends on how you spar. It depends on what you're doing. If this is some development basis on left hook, or you're instructing a fighter to do certain things in there with that fighter, that's one thing. But if it's some Floyd, Money Mayweather doghouse shit, that they're just fighting and scrapping, dude, that's not sparring at all. That's fighting, okay? See, you're still getting hit. When, I think 3 years ago, we had an Australian fighter that died while sparring. So if you can die while sparring, that tells me one thing, and I'm convinced that sparring is still dangerous, okay? And in fact, a lot of people question if the headgear is actually healthier or safer for the amateurs with or without it, okay? Because it gives you a target to hit you in your head, and when you get hit in your head, that's still punishment. That's the difference between a glove punching you in the face or versus my fist. Both of them are going to absorb impact, okay? That being said, what type of sparring did Daniel Dubois and Oleksandr Usyk really have? Okay, so I don't think that it's been videoed, but I will in a separate video if I can find that. Show it to you guys, and we can go through it together to see exactly how that really went. How did Daniel Dubois look? Because Daniel Dubois I'm not convinced that he's learned anything. I know he switched trainers or whatever, and I know what he did to Trevor Bryant, but that was expected anyhow. Okay, I think Mahmoud Char would have done the same thing, or whoever else would have got the opportunity, right? Around that same range in opposition. But I think that if anything at all, Oleksandr Usyk has acclimated to heavyweight. We've seen him recently look big and bulked up. So, I think he's ready. I just hope he hasn't bulked up too much, because everybody knows my concern. If you don't know that, you know it now. I don't think that certain fighters should get that big. But he is right One punch does it all sometimes in the heavyweight division. Does Daniel Dubois have that punch? And the answer is yes, he has that punch, but is he able to land that punch? Okay? And keep in mind the significance of the prediction from Derek Chisora. He's a guy that's been in there with Oleksandr Usyk. He's a guy that convinced people that Usyk was not ready for the heavyweight division. They thought by seeing Derek Chisora well on Oleksandr Usyk and him struggle and take shots and and get his pound of flesh from the bigger, stronger Derek Chisora, the thudding, punching gatekeeper, they like to call him. They thought there's no way he will be able to handle Anthony Joshua, but we were all wrong, wasn't we? And I think if anybody should respect Oleksandr Usyk, is Derek Chisora, because Derek Chisora landed some good shots on Usyk, and Usyk was still there. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Derek Chisora stating that the sparring between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois will tell you basically what happened in that fight, but we will see if we can dig some up. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!